Well, let's get in our market expert then. Anand Tandon joins us on the show. Hi, Anand. Good morning. Well, we're just hearing out the management of Tech Mahindra. The numbers are absolutely no two ways about it. They're disappointing. Valuation gives some bit of support, but the stock will get pulled back. Your view of the stock?
Well, I think you kind of summed it up. I don't think there is anything particularly attractive at this level. And also, I think, the market had started to, except for the last couple of weeks, perhaps, had taken the stock up along with the rest of the small rally that we witnessed in the IT sector. From this level onwards, I would expect the market to react negatively near term. And, you would want to wait to see the numbers turn. Clearly, Tech Mahindra is not the bellwether stock for the sector. It will require an Infosys or somebody else to come back and say that they are beginning to see better inflows of orders and actual execution before you want to rush in. And I would imagine Tech Mahindra will lag that. So there's a lot of time before one needs to look at it from an investment perspective.
Okay, I have many more questions for you, including what one should be doing with names like Axis Bank now. Well, Anand Tandon is back with us to talk about some more stocks. Anand, I wanted your thoughts on what an M&M investor should do now. I mean, this stake buy of 3.5% in RBL Bank may not go down too well with the street because, some concerns on capital allocation have resurfaced. But your thoughts on how one should approach it?
So let's keep that aside for the moment and look at the core business. The tractor itself, nothing great. The SUVs, which have been the mainstay of the business. We cannot have a situation where Maruti is going up because they're going to gain market share and Mahindra is especially in the SUV segment, and Mahindra continues to go up because they will also gain market share. Somebody has to lose. As the leader, Mahindra has got a challenger coming in, which is very powerful in terms of its distribution and so on. So if you look at the core business of Mahindra, I think the technology, of course, we have just seen what it has done. I don't see where the next trigger will be. Asset allocation decisions obviously were one of the reasons why Mahindra stock went up, because they said that they were earlier moving from a pool structure to actually being able to create separate silos and allocate capital a little more sensibly with a focus on ROE. If that goes away, obviously the re-rating that had happened will become a question. So overall, a tough business environment for most of the sectors that they are operating in. Valuation which is higher than their average, and a recent decision which doesn't really make too much sense. And I don't see what the next upside trigger is.
Guys, I just want to make one point. In RBL's case, right, the big thing is that RBI has never in its history, and I think, if you remember the applications for banking, because universal banking licenses are on tap now, right? So you can apply. But consistently, RBI, it's not, I don't think it's written down somewhere, but it's pretty clear that they're not comfortable with corporates owning any significant share. The limit is 9.99%. I think 2013 or 14, when they introduced and invited applications, there were corporates who applied. But nobody got it, right? So I think in RBL and M&M's case, the point is they can, and I think as the M&M release says, under no circumstance will we go above 9.99%. The point is perhaps they cannot. I mean, history suggests that they cannot, right? I mean, the RBI is just not comfortable. So what will they do with just 9.99% if that's where they will stop? I think that's the question for the bank. If they can't take, if they're not going to be able to run a bank and, at 9% or just under 10%, what's the game plan from a Mahindra stock market point of view? I think that's going to be a question to consider. But even to get to that, beyond 5%, they need RBI approval. It's something to keep track of. Anand, good morning. Just a quick word on Bajaj Finance. What did you make of it? I'm seeing some earnings upgrades. I think Morgan has upped their earnings estimates small, 3% or so, and a few other brokers as well. Go on.
Well, obviously, that's been a company which has continuously surprised on the upside in terms of execution and so on. Earnings upgrade is something that you've kind of got used to. The valuation or concern has always been there. And despite that, obviously, the market continues to believe that they can continue to grow. Now, the kind of size that they have reached will make the growth that much more challenging. And to be able to continue from here, to be able to show the same level of growth, in my view, will be a little difficult, especially with the new competition coming in from Jio. And you can assume that Jio will also be, now that they are spinning it off and looking at it as a separate business, will be also fairly sharply focused in terms of gaining market share. They don't do anything in half measures. So from here on, extremely top-end valuation, challenging the top-end execution that we have seen, and a new competition means that the NBFC space, at least on the consumer side, is likely to face fairly significant competition. So I would, if you have to be in financials, why not just stick with a bank which can grow at 20%, 18 to 20% year on year, and is one of the largest in the country?
Anand, since we're talking about banks, NBFCs, tomorrow MMFSL, they come out with this set of numbers. Earlier I was thinking that Mahindra & Mahindra comes tomorrow, but Sonia tells me that's later. If Mahindra had to do this entire thing, why didn't they do it through that entity? Because that's as it is into finance. Just wanted your thoughts.
Well, the question is, they had a stake in Kotak, right? So you've already seen, the Kotak Bank do whatever it is. It's not as if Mahindra contributed much to it, other than the fact that in the initial stages, maybe when Uday Kotak was not that big a name, therefore at that time the Mahindra Group may have added some reputational advantage, but that has long gone. Trying to make it a portfolio investment, nothing great. Trying to look at it from the point of view of synergies, you don't really need to take equity to be able to tie up with a bank, to be able to distribute product, etc. I'm not sure what they're trying to achieve.
Okay. Let's see how the street reacts. We'll know in not too long from now, about 15-20 minutes, we'll know what the market's verdict is. And then perhaps we'll take a call from there. Let's take a